The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Dang, man. Look at that.
Welcome to another episode of the Gun Shop Show. This is a truly one-of-a-kind program, and we love having you here. What is the Gun Shop Show? It is the only show that comes to you live from the sales floor of a gun store, which is my store, Liberty Tree Guns. I'm your host, Eli Bruton. We've got a really exciting topic today, and that is the guns of Bonnie and Clyde. And as always, joining me here in the homemade control room is my man, Trevor.
Hello.
And Trevor is especially chipper this episode.
I am?
Yeah, well, he is, because he's working with new equipment.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Got that new hotness.
So, as it turns out, she's stringing along a TV and radio show on old computers can be done.
Yes, it can. We proved it, and we plugged in literally the most amount of webcams that we could into that computer. But now we got two computers.
Yeah.
That means double the cameras.
We saved our pennies. We had some very helpful sponsors jump in, and we bought a new computer, and parts of it light up.
That's right.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, it's got RGB lights in it.
Yeah, so I walked up.
Basically, like a fireworks show.
He ordered all the parts, and I walked over, and of course, I saw the price tag, and I was a little bit short of breath. But then I walked up, and I saw the parts were lighting up, and I knew money well spent.
Yeah, that's how you know.
That's
man.
how you know.
Yeah.
But in addition to Trevor's help, I have my right-hand man, Logan. And as always, to kick the show off, we want to give you a chance to get some free merch. So before we start breaking down the guns of Bonnie and Clyde, I want to tell you how to get free stuff.
Nobody's going to turn down free stuff. Better get your quick fingers ready.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you about the stuff everybody can get first, and I'm going to tell you why you need to get the stuff everybody can get.
Okay.
Did you know that's what SWAG stands for?
Stuff we all get.
Stuff everybody can get.
I learned that from The Office, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I think that might have just been for The Office, but now it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's the truth. So one of the things is if you support the Gun Shop Show and you support your friends in the gun business at Liberty Tree Guns, then you need to be repping. Okay?
It's the right thing to do.
We know you're not living the salt life, but you got that sticker anyway. So get this one.
Yeah, because someone told me, I don't remember who it was, might have been, I might have seen it on Sesame Street or something, but there's going to be a giveaway with the stickers coming up.
So the stickers and the koozies, this is a can insulator koozie that I'm holding.
That's actually lime green.
And by the way, if you're hearing this on the radio, I want to remind you that you can join in and watch. So you get the visual of the things I'm holding up by joining the live stream on Facebook or YouTube. And also share the feed. Do that right now.
Yes, please.
Click share because we're growing the show all the time. And our goal is to get it on as many channels as possible. So if you want to get either one of those or a hat. Free hats, too. Almost knocked over my stuff here.
Free hats.
Completely free hats. Got two versions. This one's got kind of like a robin's egg mesh on the back and
nice.
Antlers. Going to be popular. Well, I was going to say it was going to be popular with the ladies, but Trevor already likes it.
I like it.
That's not a new trend.
No, it's not.
Get the hat with the logo. And
like pickies up.
the reason that you want to get this stuff is just because it's cool.
Right.
First
And
of all.
free.
And free.
No, cool
How much
first.
does it cost, Logan?
It's free 99.
Free 99.
That's a good price.
How do people go get there?
Yeah, tell them how to get there.
How do they get that stuff?
You're going to want to go to our website, libertytreeguns.com. Top of the page, you'll see the Liberty Tree tab or Liberty Tree merch tab. Click that and then click merch. It'll be there for free. If you're wanting it shipped, we can ship it. We'll just charge you a little bit of shipping to cover our costs.
Except for the sticker, right?
Except for the sticker.
Yeah, we're shipping that completely free.
Free.
That's on us. Mm-hmm. Yep, we're covering that for you. Okay, and the contest is going to be a photo contest. Okay, so you're going to capture yourself either posing with your Liberty Tree Guns bumper sticker, or maybe you got a can out on the range. You're keeping it cold with the Liberty Tree Guns koozie, or maybe you are standing next to the Statue of Liberty wearing a Liberty Tree Guns hat. You're going to
show us how you represent.
Show us how. We're going to give away a gun to the winner.
Oh.
So start prepping those now. We'll announce the official timeline. We'll get those entries in coming up soon. But for now, get those there. Okay, and then we have 2 freebie items. One is, and the things I just mentioned, those are completely free. As many of them as we have, we'll give away, and we have lots of them.
Yep.
But now we're going to talk about the things you need to have fast fingers for.
Oh yeah, the
fastest.
Yeah,
the one and done.
Okay. First, we're going to give away a completely free box of 20 gauge ammo.
Wow.
And as we're going to break down, Bonnie Parker of Bonnie and Clyde carried a 20 gauge Remington 11. So in that spirit, we're giving away a completely free 25-round box of...
That's like giving away gold nowadays.
20 gauge shells. So you're going to go to Liberty Tree Guns merch section, pick that up for free. The other is I want to give you a free t-shirt. Ooh. First one to go to Liberty Tree Guns merch section, click the free t-shirt, is going to get it.
Just like the one that Logan's wearing?
Logan, can you show that?
Oh.
That's our classic t-shirt, which gray on gray, Liberty Tree Guns logo.
It's pretty nice.
Also, the one that Trevor is wearing. Yep. You can get any version of our shirt free, your choice, but you got to go there. You got to be the first one to get that. All right, coming up in the show, we're going to be breaking down the guns of Bonnie and Clyde, of which there were many. We're going to be joined by our friend Machine Gun Mike from Midwest Tactical, who's going to talk about some of the impressive firepower. But I have a little spiel. A little spiel on Bonnie and Clyde. And Trevor, when you're ready, I want to tell the Gun Shop Show listeners all about Bonnie and Clyde. Throughout American history, millions of people live and die. And for the vast majority of them, we never know them, and we certainly don't remember their names. However, on rare occasions, people leave a mark, and history never forgets them. Usually it's because they made an impact, or a difference, or changed the world for the better. But today we're talking about 2 names that nearly everyone knows. Those names are Bonnie and Clyde. But why? Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker didn't make the world a better place. In fact, they were horrible people, murderers and thieves, who had little to no regard for their fellow man. During the 1930s, there were many criminals. It was almost the theme of the Depression era. So why do we remember Bonnie and Clyde more than all the others? Well, I think it was their firepower that made the difference. Bonnie and Clyde carefully selected the things that they carried with them. Their story was aimless, senseless, almost pointless, but it was their penchant for violence and their ability to wage it so effectively that leaves their names on the tongues of Americans almost a century later. Bonnie and Clyde's story ended just the way it had carried on. 2 weeks before her death, Bonnie wrote a poem which she gave to her mother. The title was The Trail's End. Someday they'll go down together, and they'll bury them side by side. To a few, it'll be grief. To the law, a relief. But it's death for Bonnie and Clyde. When Bonnie and Clyde died, let me read to you the list of the guns that they had in their car. 3 30-06 Browning automatic rifles. And that, by far, was the crowd favorite when we posted that the show would be about the guns of Bonnie and Clyde. They wanted to know about the B.A.R. 1 sawed-off Winchester 10-gauge lever-action shotgun. 1 sawed-off 20-gauge Remington Model 11 shotgun. 7 45 Colt 1911 pistols. 1 32 caliber Colt automatic pistol. 1 380 caliber Colt automatic pistol. 1 double-action Colt revolver. 3,000 rounds of various ammunition. And 100 loaded B.A.R. magazines, 20 rounds each.
They definitely were prepared.
So that was not the firearms they used in their entire time. That was the ones that were in the car when they were killed.
Right. They probably collected those as they went along on their sprees.
Yeah.
The story of Bonnie and Clyde is an incredible one. We had the opportunity to go over and visit the hideout where they stayed for about 2 weeks and had a shootout with police. And I just want to remind our listeners that while Bonnie and Clyde's story is epic, it's not something that we celebrate. Good, honest people died at the hands of Bonnie and Clyde, and they were despicable. So as we go on and break down this history on the Gun Shop Show, let's not forget that.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit JasperCountySheriff.org.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him, and it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, into my favorite part, that's the Woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. They have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers while they're hosting an event or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza.
Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. Take a second and share the feed. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you growing the show, and you can help do that by clicking share on the feed. With me now is friend of the show, personal friend, Machine Gun Mike from Midwest Tactical. Thanks for being here.
What's up, boys? Love being with you guys, as always.
It seems like it's becoming more than a friendship, Eli.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
getting serious.
He's like
romance.
What do you call it when someone reports for a show?
A correspondent?
Yeah, you're becoming like a correspondent.
And is there anything about residual checks?
Nope.
Or anything?
Nope.
No.
At least not yet.
It's
I
funny
just thought that
because
last week.
when you lean forward in the mic, I was like, I got to stop something about getting paid for this before it ever comes out of his mouth.
You saw it coming.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mind went there.
That's okay. So when we posted, we're going to be doing the guns of Bonnie and Clyde. One gun stood out in particular.
Always does.
And it was more than one person, are you going to have a B.A.R.? And Clyde's preferred firearm was a Browning B.A.R. And there was three of them in the car at the time he was killed. How many he had and had stolen and had used during their string, we don't know for sure. But we know there was at least three in the car that he preferred to have multiple ones because of their firepower. And in my opinion, and you didn't ask for it, but it's my show, so if you don't want to hear it, get your own radio, TV / web show.
Fine, then I will.
But
Let's go, Trevor.
Honestly, Bonnie and Clyde, the reason that they live on is because they decidedly went for more firepower. They chose carefully. They didn't do a lot of things carefully, and they didn't do a lot of things good or right, but they knew they could win if they outgunned the opposition. Mm-hmm. And that's what made them so legendary. So I want to roll a video about the B.A.R., and then I want to get Machine Gun Mike's take on that weapon, why it was so significant in history and significant for Bonnie and Clyde. Trevor, can we roll that?
This is the Browning automatic rifle, otherwise known as the B.A.R., the M1918A2. There were no significant changes in its design from 1917 all the way to its end of its service life in the 1960s. It's a 30 caliber magazine fed machine gun that's extremely rugged and completely reliable. It also had two modes of fully automatic fire, approximately 350 and 550 rounds per minute. Very controllable and extremely accurate. It was a major development in the history of machine guns, as it was designed to be used by one man versus a 2 or 3 man machine gun crew. Also, it could be fired from the standing, kneeling, or prone positions. The B.A.R. played a prominent role in the Korean conflict, where UN forces faced overwhelming numbers of Chinese and North Korean troops, who were armed primarily with bolt-action rifles and some Russian submachine guns. Chinese tactics consisted mainly of mass infantry attacks against the American and Allied positions. Fighting was conducted both at long and short range, and American forces depended on delivering overwhelming firepower to counter these mass attacks. It was common in World War II in Korea for soldiers to take off the carrying handle and the bipod of the B.A.R. as they were somewhat useless in combat. It just added weight to the already heavy soldier's burden. The American soldiers found that during mass attacks, the 20-round magazine, although superior to the 8-round clip of the M1 Garand, was not quite enough to get the job done. Although heavy, the B.A.R. is still man-portable, and the 20-round magazine means you had far superior firepower to the enemy's bolt-action rifles. BARs combined with M1919 machine guns and M3A1 submachine guns provided a tremendous volume of suppressive fire. For instance, during the Battle of Outpost Harry in June 1953, 5 companies of American and Greek soldiers held out for 9 days against wave after wave of mass attack from over 13,000 Chinese soldiers. During this period, UN forces suffered only 114 casualties, while inflicting approximately 4,500 casualties on the Chinese. The tactical impact of the B.A.R. was tremendous. It provided the firepower base for the infantry squad, and also gave the individual soldier, rather than a machine gun crew, overwhelming firepower.
Full credit to Vickers Tactical for that video. Larry Vickers is kind of a staple in the gun world, and that was good information on the B.A.R., but we want to break it down a little further. Mike, in your opinion, why do people feel so strongly about that gun, and why we need to hear about that on today's episode?
I mean, it is just a stable gun, and you kind of heard Larry talk about it in that video. Its controllability. It's modern machine guns have increased rates of fire. That you can see the benefits of that, but you can also see the drawbacks of that. It's less controllable. The B.A.R. has such a smooth rate of fire that even though you're shooting a huge shell in a 30-06, it is still controllable. The weapon is just solid. It's not plasticky like maybe some modern M16s are. It was just really well built. And some guns you have that just have a design that doesn't need a lot of fixing, and the B.A.R. is such a solid design that it's just an error-free gun. And you could get them at a local hardware store. I'm sure you could walk in back in Bonnie and Clyde's day and just pick one up, and you could see how that and the Thompson were just two of your solid choices back then.
Yeah, and it turns out that Clyde, with the help of some other criminal elements, robbed an armory, and so he actually got military B.A.R.s designed by John Browning, like almost every classic firearm and still firearms that we use today. But I think we need to start with something that you mentioned, which is that cartridge. 30-06 in our vernacular in Southwest Missouri, we're thinking deer rifle, right?
Right.
But that cartridge, the military designation originally. Mm-hmm. And Logan, something I meant to get ready that I didn't have ready. If you can look up, I would like to know the total foot-pounds of energy of 30-06 versus 308. I don't know it off the top of my head, but to have an automatic rifle that can be carried by one person in a 30-06 cartridge that's just a lot of firepower.
It's a huge amount of firepower, and it would inflict a lot of damage in a really mobile way, because you could get around with these, even though they're heavy. I mean, when you grab one of these B.A.R.s, it's going to be 18 to 20 pounds, and you have a whole new level of respect for our infantrymen, our servicemen, running around beaches, running around the
battlefield.
The battlefield doing that. I mean, it's just incredible what these guys endured. But it was a great gun. Great gun.
We're going to continue breaking down the B.A.R., its significance in history, and the difference it made for Bonnie and Clyde on the Gun Shop Show. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun, and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15 round OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the A.R. mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an A.R., you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO.
Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silver Boy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some black powder, some cool Colt, black powder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this was half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection, so we'll buy 1 gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was 1 check and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA 50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection. I want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy your collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon.
Welcome back to this episode of the Gun Shop Show, where we're breaking down the guns of Bonnie and Clyde. I want to remind you to take a second to share the feed, share the show. If you're watching on television or listening on the radio and you think you might not get the whole show is 2 hours long, and we only get 1 hour on TV. So I want to remind you that the podcast is on all the major podcast players. Go ahead and go there, grab the podcast, share it with your friends. We're talking about the gun that got the very most attention, and that was Clyde's B.A.R's. Stands for Browning Automatic Rifle. In 30-06, powerful caliber. Logan, during the break, did you get a second to look up the total energy of those 2 cartridges?
I did. 30-06 at the muzzle, you're looking about 3,000 foot-pounds of energy compared to the 308, which is around 2,500 to 2,600.
So, we don't really have a comparable cartridge used in machine gun platforms now. We've scaled down to 308 or in some cases upwards from there. But this was a very powerful long-range caliber, but still carried in a portable package. And Mike, you brought with you a machine gun today.
I did, and when you told me about the Bonnie and Clyde thing, I was sick because we had just transferred a B.A.R. out a week ago, one that had been in our vault for about 10 months. So horrible timing, and I really wanted to bring a beautiful B.A.R. But what we have here is kind of similar because Mr. Browning's design in the B.A.R. was copied. He kind of took a French design and improved it, and then the French took the design of the B.A.R. and made this bad boy, which is a French 1924-29 machine gun. And I brought it because it's just really similar. It's similar in looks. It's similar in feel to a B.A.R., although a B.A.R. is a much more boxy. It feels more robust in your arms when you're shooting it. But this is a cool gun. It's actually chambered in 7.5, French 7.5, so it's a very rare round. We do have some of those at the shop. We try to keep as much on hand as we can. And it's a cool gun. And one of the interesting features is if you look at the trigger on this one, it's actually got two. So the front one is for semi-automatic fire, and then the back one is for full auto.
Because a lot of these guns, so you've brought us guns before, and I should just back up for the listener that hasn't caught some of the other episodes. Your machine gun Mike from Midwest Tactical,
yes,
who is the nation's largest dealer of transferable machine guns, which means that individuals, if they can afford these beautiful pieces of history, can own one, can take it home.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a lot of the ones you've brought us before, like the British machine gun, is designed to be operated by 2 or 3 men. Mm-hmm. It's got a stand. So what we've done is we've taken nearly that much firepower, but we've made it portable. So
exactly.
It's got a bipod that an individual shooter can use, but it uses, rather than a belt, a magazine that would go right up in the top. And so 20 rounds, generally. Is this one 20 rounds?
20 rounds.
Yeah, so the B.A.R. was 20 rounds. What's kind of interesting is Bonnie and Clyde, in addition to their guns, were very choosy about their getaway vehicle. And so they chose big engines, again, bigger guns, more firepower, but a big engine in their V8 Ford, mm-hmm. and also the heavy body, because most rounds, most cartridges were stopped. So they had what was, in effect, almost an armored vehicle.
Correct.
But the B.A.R. Clyde knew could penetrate most other vehicles. And so he's running around with this kind of firepower while, law enforcement generally was limited to something as small as a .38 special revolver.
Did you mention how many loaded magazines they had on their persons?
Yeah, over 100 just B.A.R. magazines loaded with 20 rounds each.
They were ready.
They were ready. And, the unfortunate thing, and again, I don't want to glorify these people because they were horrible people, and we're reverent to the fact that people in our own hometown area died at the hands of Bonnie and Clyde. Mm-hmm. So, but they eventually learned. So they were eventually killed, and we'll break down that story by the end of the show. But those pursuing them realized they kept losing out to them. So they upped their firepower, and they essentially caught them when they didn't know they were coming, and ambushed them and took them out. But unfortunately, there was a response where law enforcement at the time had to learn from the criminals themselves that firepower mattered.
Absolutely. And the B.A.R. was the queen of that day. I mean, it was just the most powerful gun. And when you shoot one, the sound of the B.A.R. is so beautiful. I can't explain it because, I shoot guns all the time. The B.A.R. has a distinct, special sound that is so satisfying when it's going off. It's just beautiful. I love it. It's
We've
such
talked
a fun
about
gun.
on the show before kind of liking the classic nature of the lower rates of fire, but this is even chief among those. And I think it's almost musical. It's like a rhythm. It's almost slow enough that it's like a beat, and I think that's why it probably resonates with us from a psychological aspect. But when you hear that noise, even though you've never obviously lived through the era when those were in the battlefield, it feels like it takes you there. We've seen it depicted in movies, and just what a classic gun.
Well, quick story. I had an older gentleman that knew I worked at Midwest Tactical, and he had a 1918 A2 B.A.R. in World War II. That was his rifle, and he said, "Oh, I miss it. I would love to shoot it again." So guess what I did? I had a B.A.R. at the shop. I went up, picked him up because he wasn't driving, and I brought him down and let him shoot a B.A.R. again, and he needed help doing so. But just shooting, tears start coming down his eyes because of all of the memories that he was swept up in, and just visiting with him and giving him that pleasure to revisit a weapon that had saved his life countless times. It was just super special to be able to do that.
Powerful moment. I'm
Very
sure.
cool.
Yeah, and of course we thank the veterans that had to count on these weapons to fight and ensure our freedom. So cool that you were able to reconnect him with that. And I'm sure, one thing I've found as folks get older, even when, and I'm not saying this guy did, but even if they suffer from memory loss or dementia, certain very, primal memories are easily triggered from physically the sound of something, the feel of something. I know as my grandpa got older, sometimes he would mistake me for his brother and stuff like that. But when I would play music that was from his era that he enjoyed, he remembered every word because it just connected on that other level. So let's make sure we don't get out of here without people knowing how to shop machine guns. They can start right here at Liberty Tree Guns. So let's tell them about the arrangement that we have with Midwest Tactical.
So basically, we love working with Liberty Tree, and we give you guys guns. We bring guns that you can show off here because we want the public to know they can own them. And not only can they own them, they're quite expensive, but you can come in here to Liberty Tree, see them in person, sometimes touch them, and just see history right in front. It's almost like a museum when you come into Liberty Tree. And so we want to partner with you and kind of broaden our horizons and get these out in the public in this awesome FFL of Liberty Tree that you guys got here. And they can get them through you. They can get them through us. And learn about them, and we just love educating people. It's a win-win-win every way you look at it.
And so if you are interested in owning something like a B.A.R. or this French rifle, here's a couple things you can do. One, come in the store because we've got multiple transferable full auto machine guns here in the store, but also go back to episode number 2 of the Gun Shop Show, which has been a very popular, it is number 2, right?
Yeah,
number 2. Has been one of our more popular episodes. It actually, we had someone click on it, and he said, "I just came here for the thumbnail. Why do you guys have so much information?" He was like complaining. There was jam-packed of information.
So sorry about that.
About machine guns. Mike, thanks so much for being here on the Gun Shop Show.
Thanks, guys.
The Gun Shop Show, brought to you by Little Old Ladies. They're little, and they're old. They're little old ladies.
Good morning, Four States. This is John Hart, and welcome to the Gun Shop Show. I am the owner of the vet company of Joplin, and I'm here to give you an update at the Andersons estate. Follow me. We're now starting on the staircase. This will be done by the next time you guys come over and visit us. As you can see, the upper deck is almost complete. We put in the Brazilian cherry in the bands. It's really looking nice, guys. Today we're going to be focusing on the rails, putting in a cable rail. You guys got to come back and watch this. It's an awesome process. We're taking down the bridge and we're going to replace that. guys need a free estimate, call me 417-629-7886. Thanks again for joining us.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also, I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So, from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
We're back on the Gun Shop Show. Today's topic is the guns of Bonnie and Clyde. You know what? I know what that sound is.
I think I've started to figure out what that is.
What is that? I bet our listeners would let us know in the comments what that sounded.
Yeah. I think it's the texts.
Guys,
Yeah.
it's time to check the voicemail.
The voicemail.
You know what? That's starting to become one of my favorite parts.
Let me just get my voicemail phone out, okay?
You've been hitting the gym, haven't you?
Also,
You're gonna need to.
I stepped on my headphone cord. Almost jerked my head off the shoulders.
Oh, no. That sounds like a shampoo.
Jerked my head off my shoulders.
Well, Head and Shoulders. There it comes. Oh, man. Jeez.
Oh my God. We're
gonna have to get like a cherry picker for that thing.
You're gonna break the table.
And a phone. Does the phone? Do we have camera phone now? Do we have a camera phone going? The camera for the phone?
Oh, we can set that up.
Yeah.
We're gonna
we
need
had
that.
like an extra hand,
go ahead.
maybe with some
We're gonna
wireless
check
headphones. There was somebody with wireless headphones who
let's
could
check the voicemail.
put it on the voicemail.
1 second here before we get that. Yeah.
And then, we're not wasting time at all right now.
No. Okay.
No. And then,
So,
so
if you're just joining us, what we do on the show is we like to interact with our listeners, and the way we do that is they leave us voicemails.
little baby
What,
voicemails.
where can you leave those voicemails?
You can leave them at the following phone number.
208-918-1776.
Big finish. So my lady hates me a little bit now because I got that number stuck in her head.
It's all right. What's the famous song with the numbers in it?
Jenny.
Who's
Something about Jenny and some numbers. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
Can't quite remember.
Do you guys not know you don't know?
I know them, but now I've got 208-918-1776 in my head.
Okay.
And it's messing me up.
I don't know them either.
See, yeah, it's those famous numbers.
680-429-33492.
That was way too many numbers.
Way off. What is that number?
867-5309.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Do not call 867-5309
Did
if
you
you would
see
like
this?
to call the Gun Shop Show.
Someone paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for that number.
Of course they did.
Oh yeah, weird, but
They could have bought a fully automatic machine gun.
for that
They could have. Several.
or they could have just done what we did and get 208-918-1776.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevor, I trust that you have prepared a intro segment so we don't have to do it live anymore.
As usual, I'm letting you down because I'm your guy. All right, you can count on me.
We're gonna have to do this live.
You can count on me.
I'm gonna have to get my guitar out
to let you down.
I
buddy.
mean, I strung it up.
Get it? Yeah, you put all
I had
those strings
faith in
back
you,
on.
but I put the strings back on it because, you haven't made the intro.
Right.
So we're just gonna have to do it live.
All right.
Well,
Well,
let's just
I'm
do it
ready
live.
too. I got
Hey,
ZZ drumsticks here.
People have been saying they've had a little bit of trouble watching us shred.
Yeah.
So make sure.
Well, that's why we put a camera on the headstock of your guitar. is so that we can see
all
the massive shredding. Now, you're only going to see like a fraction of time because most of it's going to be covered up by flakes of skin and smoke.
You're getting a lot of smoke on there.
Eli is also his own personal smoke machine.
Yeah. We were going to get a smoke machine, but there's already so much smoke. It gets
Yeah,
cloudy in here.
Right off his fingers.
Okay.
Are you
All
ready?
right.
You ready to rock
I'm
this
about
thing
ready.
out?
I think I remember. Just give me a count in.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready to check the voicemail?
Oh, man. Are there any strings left on that thing?
I broke 4 strings.
4 strings?
Yeah.
Jeez, man. That's almost an entire pack of strings.
Yeah, that's
good thing that thing's got 6 strings. So when all 4 of them break,
I got
you
a
can
string
still
guy.
be rocking out on the other 2 strings.
That's what I had to do.
Yep. And
it's not easy to get those notes out of 2 strings.
Right. And a crazy twist of events, doing those vocals, I broke a vocal string.
You broke a vocal string?
Are you okay?
Hitting that number up there, busted.
Let's get
busted.
Let's get a voicemail cranking on this.
Okay, let me see if we got one.
Because it's full today. What's full?
Here we go, folks.
Hang on.
You dial those top secret
Yeah,
digits.
I'm gonna get the. I'm gonna use
Numbers
this.
3.
This is a proprietary
Make sure
system.
You tap it on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that classic
go.
fridge
There
is
you go.
broke.
Yeah.
Knock. Here we go.
All right, let's let it roll.
Hey, Gun Shop Show. Mr. Q here from Carthage, Missouri. And I was wondering y'all's thoughts on carrying a backup weapon. Also, Eli, I was wondering, do you carry an extra gun in your beard like Chuck Norris carries extra fist and hits?
So, if you had trouble hearing that, I had to listen to this several times. But his question was, do you carry a backup gun in your beard, just like Chuck Norris has an extra fist inside his beard?
Right.
A lot of people don't know that.
They don't. They don't know about Chuck Norris's extra fist.
No.
It actually is in place of his Adam's apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an extra fist.
Also, let's
Pretty
not
sweet.
pass by the fact that you should never get into a windowless van with this collar, because that was pretty crazy.
Terrifying.
Yeah, but I'll get into a windowless van with any of our other callers.
Any of the other
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
So actually, I do carry a gun
Yeah, I've heard about
in
this.
my beard.
Yeah.
In your beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I carry an extra gun in my beard.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Um,
joking when you told me that.
No, I do.
Oh.
And
let's why don't we show the callers here?
yeah, I mean it's something that I've gotten used to, and I don't even talk about it.
Right.
But let me just pull this out for you guys.
All right. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, a little baby gun.
Yeah.
Like a little
Derringer.
revolver.
Yeah,
Maybe
this is
an
a little,
AA or something.
It's a little North
Yeah.
American Arms
Uh-huh.
mini revolver.
Yeah.
I just keep it tucked right in there,
Yeah.
just as a backup.
How'd you pull that out?
I have
It's got a tuft.
a system that
Got a
I
little-
keep it in.
Little pouch.
And so
Little kangaroo pouch.
there you go, caller.
All right.
There's
Well,
answer.
hey, so, I mean, do you have issues with termites? Because that was a wood stock.
I'm
No.
wondering if it weighs your
I
head
do
down.
a little bit on that one.
Uh-huh.
But that's not the only gun I keep in there.
Oh, you got more?
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's show them some more.
Yeah,
What
let me
else
show
got?
you this. No issues
Oh.
with termites.
Is that a
Oh, I would say
365?
not.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It's a SAS.
And you got the anti-snag model.
Yeah,
That
because
makes
you're
a
right.
lot
you
of
don't
sense.
want
Right,
to
yeah.
have a snag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes good sense.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do for
So,
sure.
I
Do you
mean-
have any issues with oil dripping down? I mean, I guess it would just mix
I
in
have a
with
lot
your
of
beard.
dripping. I have a lot of dripping going on anyway.
Does it help lubricate your beard?
Yeah, it's the oil.
He's
Yeah, from
constantly
that.
dripping, just like the smoking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got the 2 in there, huh?
Yeah, but you know,
You don't have more, man. There's no,
No,
way.
what?
yeah, I don't
Going
just do
back
2.
for another one?
You think I just do 2?
Wait, you have
I
a
mean-
backup gun for your backup gun for your backup gun?
Yeah, I mean the 365 has a lot of firepower,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
it just lacks a certain like brute force.
Right, so that's...
So that yeah,
Oh, is
my
that
God.
the yeet cannon?
that's of the same
looks like a
family.
high
Oh my
point.
gosh!
it
Yeah,
is.
of course.
That's a
Well,
big
you know what?
45.
That's
It's
a big
45
gun.
ACP.
That makes good sense. But you know, I would have to say that doesn't surprise me that you have a high point.
I didn't think
in
you were a
your
fan
beard.
of high points.
But
You know, sometimes just
Sometimes
with
you gotta
beard
yeet.
concealment system, you work with what is at your disposal.
Yeah.
And I needed something, you know, with some
something.
Heft.
Yeah.
Because if you run out of ammo, you can always just use the high point itself. Throw it. Yeet
Now,
it.
does it hurt your neck having all those guns in your beard?
No, it actually. I kind of have problems with the ladies.
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's
Yeah, you're having problems with the ladies.
Does your wife know about this?
no. What I'm saying is, if it's blowing in the breeze,
Yeah.
I can't keep them away. I can't
just
get
weights
work
it
done.
down.
So this just keeps it solid.
I get
You know, it keeps
Yeah.
them from getting
Really
too.
impressive that you keep that many.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite a bit.
I'm blown away.
Yeah. a
Yeah,
lot.
so just the 3 then, huh?
Well, I have.
Yeah, come on.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
The last one that I
Come
keep
on.
in.
Dude, he's joking.
The last one that I keep in there.
Yeah.
Is right here.
Oh, okay. What? No. What? Oh, I ain't buying
there's
that.
no
way.
Yeah.
No
Dude,
way.
that's a side-by-side shotgun.
Yeah.
What?
This is actually Elmer Fudd's shotgun.
The real deal?
Yep.
Is Elmer Fudd in it?
And I normally just keep 3 in there, but things are getting hairy out there.
Yeah.
Elmer Fudd's losing his gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
end
like-
up with it, and I thought, I'm not going to let this thing out of my sight.
It's like you need
makes
shoes for each occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have guns for each occasion.
Yep.
Tucked neatly in your little kangaroo pouch of a chest.
So thank that caller. Something that just everyday life for me that a lot of people take for granted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do. I believe in backup guns, and I do carry a gun in my beard just like Chuck Norris carries a fist.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to grow a longer beard then.
Yeah, me too.
We went to the Bonnie and Clyde hideout in Joplin,
This is true.
which was really fascinating. So a lot of people don't know that there is a tie-in to our local area, and if you are one of our many nationwide listeners, we're located here in Carthage, Missouri. That's where Liberty Tree Guns is, and our neighboring town is Joplin, and inside of the city of Joplin is a hideout that Bonnie and Clyde used, and there was a shooting. So we're going to be showing you that hideout when we get back from the break. If you're on TV, there's a whole second hour that you're not going to catch on KODE. So make sure you join us on the internet, on Facebook or YouTube, for more Gun Shop Show. Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret? I don't really.
Glory Auctions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do it.
And then also, it's
Okay.
it's covering up my
Yeah,
face.
all
So
right. I'll
just
it
get a
together.
picture like from their
Okay.
Facebook page
Yeah, I
because
got-
that's the
I
best
got one here.
place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll do better this
And
time.
then, and so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, Glory Auctions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
Oh,
old
Glory Auctions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit jaspercountysheriff.org.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him, and it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back into my favorite part, that's the Woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. They have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers while they're hosting an event or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our...
Hey man, we got to do this About Anywhere porta potty commercial.
I kind of have my hands full.
I didn't want to bother you, but we really got to get it done.
You know this is where I go to do my special project. I'm almost done, hang on. I'm done. The Gun Shop Show is brought to you by About Anywhere Porta Potties.
They'll take you anywhere.
You can take a beep anywhere.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, coming to you from the sales floor of Liberty Tree Guns, the best gun shop in the world. I want to ask a favor.
Yes.
We would like to break a record today, and we can do that if you share the feed. So, got a popular topic. We're talking about the guns of Bonnie and Clyde, and we need your help spreading the word for the show. So do that by sharing the feed.
Please, 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 please.
And I also want to take a second to thank our flagship sponsor, U.S. Law Shield. U.S. Law Shield is a great company.
They are.
And I can legitimately say the more I get to know them, the more I believe that. What U.S. Law Shield is legal defense for your self-defense. And they have no limits, no caps. They will represent you if you use your gun in self-defense, any non-heinous act. So as long as you are not Bonnie and Clyding it, you can use their services. So thanks to U.S. Law Shield, the best way to sign up for that and get 2 free months of coverage is to go to uslawshield.com and use promo code. So you click join now and then use promo code Liberty Tree, all one word. And you're going to get 2 months for free, and you're going to get upgraded automatically to Platinum Plus, which is a rate lock. So it's $10.95 a month, and it'll never go up as long as for the life of your membership. Trevor, you were trying to signal me. I'm sorry I didn't catch what was written on there. Were you just telling me times? All right, we're going to roll the video of our visit to the hideout in Joplin.
Here we are at the Bonnie and Clyde garage apartment where they hid out. Clyde Barrow, Bonnie Parker, Buck and Blanche Barrow, and W.D. Jones rented this apartment and holed up inside for several months. On April 13, 1933, law officers from Joplin Police Department and Newton County, seeking suspected bootleggers, approached the dwelling. The outlaws opened fire on them, killing Joplin Detective Harry McGinnis and Newton County Constable J.W. Harriman. The Barrow Gang escaped, leaving behind a roll of Kodak film that yielded the first publicly seen photographs of the infamous gang. The owners of this apartment have graciously allowed to give us a tour to show some of the history that happened here, and I have some interesting things that I want to point out that are relevant to Bonnie and Clyde's use of guns during their stay here. It's apparent when you study Bonnie and Clyde that their decision making was not just by chance. They chose their vehicles, their firearms, and we're learning now even their housing carefully to make sure that they won if there was a gun battle. And that's many of the features of this apartment are very apparent for those reasons. First, you'll notice that it's stone. So the stone construction made it impenetrable to bullets. Let's go inside and check out some of the stuff. And the original door was right here, and it had bullet holes from the shootout in it. It has since been donated to a museum. We'll go inside. Much of the historic nature of this apartment has been preserved. The floors are original. Most of the woodwork, obviously some of the furnishings have been updated, but you very much get the feel, and you can imagine Bonnie and Clyde hiding out here. Take a look at the floor here. It was common for men to take their knives and be seated in a chair and drop them and try to stick them in the floor. And it's apparent that this is what's happened here. And also, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get the camera right on this portion of the floor, but it looks like there's a C that has been carved out, which maybe stands for Clyde. One of the most amazing decisions that Bonnie and Clyde made and their gang made when they selected this apartment was they chose this because of the second story and also the 360-degree views. So if you look anywhere within this apartment, you can see out, which means they would know ahead of time if someone was approaching the apartment and be able to return fire or open fire before the officers or whomever were coming after them. So we've been told that this was Bonnie and Clyde's room, and then other members of their gang stayed here in this bedroom. The owner said this was the perfume that Bonnie wore. It's called Blue Waltz. They actually still make it, and you can still get it. There's little elements of that historical artifacts all throughout this apartment, which is now available to be rented on Airbnb. Let's check out these articles real quick. But what we do, imagine a lot of these houses probably were not there during this stint in the 30s. But even with the houses here, person can get a perspective and theoretically and potentially even fire straight out these windows. And we know from the accounts of what happened that the living room windows are where some of the shots were fired that ended up killing the Joplin detective. Here's some of the articles from the era. What's so interesting about this particular apartment is until then, Bonnie and Clyde were heard of. They were known outlaws, but no one knew what they looked like because obviously they were on the run. Some of the photographs, which we'll show throughout the show, were not only taken before, but also taken here in the apartment and then later developed, giving us some of the most, accurate and timely photos of the two of them. The owner tells us that according to accounts from members of the gang, this closet is where they kept their machine guns. And at night, they would pull them out and clean and maintain them while the women worked on puzzles. And we know this is the window that the officer was shot from during the famous gun battle. Here's something we noticed. Is that a graze from a bullet? No way to know for sure, but it looks like it could be to me. One thing I definitely have to show you in here, one of the bullet holes that has never been repaired from the shootout that remains intact. Pretty incredible. It was a neighbor who noticed that the gang stayed up all night, slept all day, never went out and had all of their groceries delivered. They ultimately called law enforcement and they thought there were some bootleggers, some folks selling illegal alcohol during that era, which is why law enforcement showed up so unprepared for the gun battle that they would have here. Bonnie and Clyde obviously believed in having the most firepower possible. They also believed that their car should give them an advantage against police. So they rented this little garage out back where they kept a second escape car in case they needed to flee. So in order to have the long run of the criminal spree that they did, they had to make choices about their surroundings, and they chose this apartment based on the structure and the advantages that it gave them. This apartment was an incredible sight to see. You can really feel the history here. If you'd like to get a closer look, you can actually rent this apartment on Airbnb. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Hey, there you go. Bring me back on the audio.
Now we're back.
Thank you. That was our trip to the Bonnie and Clyde hideout in Joplin. Really was a place where you could feel the history soaking through.
Absolutely.
So if you have not used Airbnb, I'm going to put my referral link to Airbnb in the show notes as well as the feed. You'll also get some freebies when you join Airbnb through that link. And then if you just type in Bonnie and Clyde with the search results, you will find that apartment. And for the radio listener, this apartment, and Trevor, if you can go pull up the original photos of it from back in the 30s, it looks pretty similar today. This is a 2-story structure. It was mostly built as a garage with a living quarters on the upstairs as sort of a bonus. And so what you had was an elevated, armored, 360-degree hideout that they could fire from. And I've heard conflicting stories about the gun battle. If you're looking on screen, you can see what this thing looked like back then. Still room. It's basically a 2-car garage with windows all the way around.
Basically looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, it looks the same today, but pretty incredible place. And it's just a reminder that our choices have an outcome when it comes to survival. And one of the things that I say in all of our training courses is we're all here because we want to increase the likelihood that we survive. Bonnie and Clyde, unfortunately, used decisions that helped them win those battles, and it made an impact. Stay tuned to the Gun Shop Show. Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters. And it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. And here's some photos of my trips to Colorado that we took in our RV from Mid-America RV. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of the lifetime RV warranty. So I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. And as you can see, they have a large inventory selection of trailers and fifth wheels, and they specialize in those. They don't carry any motorhomes or anything like that. So if you are in the market for a tow-behind RV of any size, from a little teardrop to a full-size trailer, I urge you to check out Mid-America RV. Now, we weren't sent any promotional material, so we decided, and this is from genuinely from my personal experience. There's a trip of me in Colorado in my Surveyor that I got from Mid-America RV. And so we decided we would make our own commercial for these guys since we believe in them so much. So, Trevor, I assume that you are prepared with material, right?
I'm going to jingle on the spot.
You didn't make one ahead of time.
I didn't. No, I didn't. And I'm actually a little nervous right now.
Can you put it on the lot?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Let's refresh. And here we go.
They may not appreciate this.
Mid-America RV, the San Francisco treat.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at the making up of stuff, so I borrow from other people.
Okay, well, the point is Mid-America RV will treat you right. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV. Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. Bonnie and Clyde, what a topic.
I know, man. I've learned so much. I've really enjoyed covering this topic just from the historical element. You mentioned earlier that standing in that apartment, I went and visited George Washington Carver's monument just the day before, so I was still relishing standing in the footprint of history. You know, it doesn't have to be great history. It's just history.
Yeah, I mean, Bonnie and Clyde, although glorified, were not good people.
No, not even a little bit. I mean, one of the things that I remember learning about is like they changed cars often. So he would constantly be robbing people and taking their vehicles and
kidnapped them too.
Yeah, kidnapped them. But in those instances, from what I was reading, is like a lot of those people, they'd give them money and release them later on down the road.
Yeah.
Even some cops, they kidnapped some cops. I saw a picture of the cops and standing next to the abandoned car, and it was very interesting to learn that stuff. You know, they were good in some instances, you know, but in a lot they weren't.
And so I think people wanted them to be modern day, which, you know, say modern day.
Yeah.
For that era would have been modern day Robin Hoods.
Yeah.
And sort of glorified their behavior.
Yeah.
You know, they're robbing banks, they're going, but the truth is they hurt a lot of innocent people.
Yeah, they did.
And
So I was going to say that something else that I picked up is this all took place during the Prohibition, obviously, but also during the Depression era.
Yes.
And so the newspapers were having a hard time selling papers. So stuff like this was pretty much the modern day BuzzFeed of that time. The papers were latching onto these, and they were creating anti-heroes out of these folks because it sold papers.
Right. You know, I think there's a couple things that made them famous, and I've touched on this otherwise. One is they won so many battles. They were charged with at least 13 murders, but they don't know how many people they may have killed. There's no witnesses, there's no way to know. So probably many more.
Yeah.
Being in the instance of the Joplin hideout, the Joplin detective went there because of a call and just pretty much instantly was gunned down.
Yeah.
And
I wasted no time.
They were planning to be able to do that,
right?
Which gave them the advantage. But one of the things that you mentioned, Prohibition, is we also see people like John Dillinger, Al Capone glorified, and they shouldn't be either. But to me, you can understand the psychology of an Al Capone in the fact that he was a boss of a very organized, and one of the bad things about Prohibition is that it breeds organized crime. It creates incentive for people who are willing to break the law. It creates massive incentive and therefore massive monetary gain.
Right, yeah, because the market demand is there. The market doesn't go away just because you create laws.
Yeah, and what we find is the worst elements, the most brutal and cutthroat elements profit from it. And then with profit, they're able to corrupt systems and become more and more powerful. And we kind of get how Al Capone came to be. And when you imagine that he used violence, do you think it's in protection of this apparatus that he built? What's interesting about Bonnie and Clyde is they just did this for its own sake.
Right.
That's what they wanted, to live on the run. And we have some pictures of Bonnie and Clyde. I think another thing that probably creates that celebrity status is Bonnie, although she looks rougher over time, she looks like a happy young woman.
Yeah, she was 19, I think, when she met Clyde.
And that's another part of it, is the love story side of it.
Yeah.
She had been married by someone who went to prison. Clyde went to prison.
Yeah.
And then got out, and it says they instantly fell in love. And so there's that subplot throughout the whole thing, is that they were loyal to each other. She knew they were going to die together, and all she asked was that they be buried next to each other.
Right. Well, you live a life that fast, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons they were so glorified and famous was because at the time of the Great Depression, here were some people stepping up and fighting the system. In a way, winning.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that kind of resonated with them. The system, which was broken, not working for them, can be overcome.
Yeah, they were opting out of the horrible times, which, people felt desperate, and they felt like nothing's going to change no matter what I do in my life. Nothing's going to happen. And Bonnie and Clyde made at least life interesting for themselves.
Right.
We have a lot more guns to break down, the ones that they carried, but it's just pretty fascinating. Do you have the one of Bonnie when she's actually pointing it? It's obviously like kind of a posed picture. She's pointing it at Clyde. But you can imagine that they had become just a legend. People heard about him. They heard the name. I would say if you polled 100 people, 90-some% of them would tell you, I've heard the name Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, for sure.
If you said, though, what were their last names, I would say it would be in the tens, less than 10% of people would know. But they lived and died by their firearms. It's what helped them win so many battles. there were 7 Colt 1911s in their car when they were killed. And so there was a man named Frank Haper, I believe is how you pronounce that. You double check me on that, Trevor. The guy that was tasked. It's kind of funny because we always joke when we're going to make a movie. We rehash that old overused bit where they say, "We need you," and the guy's like, "I'm out of the game." So the guy that they got to hunt down Bonnie and Clyde was a retired Texas Ranger who, of course, again, when they approached him, he was retired.
He's like, "I'm out of the game."
Yeah. So we always joke about that. It's just kind of like an inside personal joke of like, if we make a movie, it would start with that. But ultimately, he began to track their movements and realized that they sort of went in a loop, and they used the state line rules to their advantage. And so they would skirt. That's why they chose Joplin. So not only did they choose the structure for reasons, but they chose the location, with Joplin being minutes from Kansas, minutes from Oklahoma, minutes from Arkansas, depending on the agencies that that were after them. They could escape, and there were limits. There still is limits, but they've been refined a little bit as to the response that law enforcement can have across state lines. I mean, now if you have fresh pursuit, meaning like if you start chasing someone in Missouri, you can chase them into Kansas. But at the time, there were limits, and so they were able to escape more easily. And did you pull him up?
Yeah, I showed him on screen.
Okay. And it's Frank Haper, right?
Yeah, Haper.
Yeah. He tracked him down. He ultimately set up an ambush. He knew someone that they were coming to visit and planned a posse to take out Bonnie and Clyde. We'll tell that story when we get back. Right here
on the Gun Shop Show?
On the Gun Shop Show. The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break. And also, I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun, and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on, and then the gun can fit right here. in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15-round OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO.
Commercial idea for net fishes. I walk into the commercial director, we'll call him's office. I say to him, "Hey, how's it going?" He replies, "Good, we got your commercial ready to go. Are you ready to listen?" "Yeah, but before I do, I have an idea I want to float by you." He says, "Okay," a bit sarcastically. And I say, "All right." And I clear my throat and I start singing this song, something similar. Net fishes, we're all really good friends, hanging out and stuff, and having memories to talk about when we were young. It's net fishes. And I say the business name wrong, like fish nets. He replies, "That's terrible. And you didn't even say the right business name at the end. It's your business." Then it cuts to fish snatches. Net fishes, where we can all be friends. And commercial.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
You tired, man?
Yeah, I've been a little tired lately.
Oh, you've been sleepy, dude? I've been sleepy too, but probably not for the same reasons that you've
I've been pretty
sleepy.
too. Been staying up too late.
Dr. Scientist Man.
I've been working on a secret project.
Ooh, how secret? Bottom secret? Middle secret?
No.
Do I not know about this?
Top secret.
Oh.
That top secret. Ooh.
You guys have caught little bits and pieces of it, but I've been working on a scientific premise.
Yeah.
That we could use for the show.
Yeah.
Molecular.
All the way down to
transferability.
The molecule. Oh.
Is that the toaster that plates the food for you?
No.
Oh.
It's.
Would that be pretty
I didn't
cool.
want to say it, but it's.
How about a toaster that butters your bread for you?
Oh my God! If you can make that,
sprays it on, spritz it. That's what you're working
I'll
on.
buy the first 10.
I've been working on teleportation.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm this close.
That's pretty close, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
The only thing is. So I've got taking a person or things. And teleporting it to another dimension or location.
Right, that's where you want to go.
In live time.
Yeah.
So there's more than one
in live
dimension.
time?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm having trouble with the container.
Oh.
So whatever, I've tried a cardboard box. I get in it. I set the settings on the proprietary technology.
Right. It's always proprietary.
Well, it has to be.
And it's getting destroyed in transport.
Yeah.
Because you got to. So what I need to round out the project.
Wait, so you're saying you can teleport from one place to another, but you can't go back?
Yeah, because I'm getting stuck there.
Oh,
which is,
yikes!
You have to keep walking, huh?
But if I had, what I need is a sturdy but lightweight enclosure.
Okay.
Maybe 3 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Does color make a difference? Because I know a guy.
No, I need to have a door on the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Needs to have, a handle.
Right.
Yeah. It needs to be about big enough that a person can step into it comfortably,
Right.
carrying the items that they want to teleport with.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that way we can use it on the show.
Right.
Like if we want to take something out and, shoot it, and I would say, let's just see how this coach gun is.
Yeah.
We would just climb into this, whatever the device is.
Right.
Whatever the structure is.
Uh-huh.
Something just yay big.
Yeah.
Made out of like a polymer.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay.
So if you guys have anything like that, I wouldn't
Can't think of anything.
be sleepy on the show if I had that.
Can't think of anything.
Let's check the voicemail.
Okay. Let's do it. Let me check it. Let's get a voicemail up and going here.
Yeah,
guys. Come on. Jeez. Come on, guys. Get the voicemail.
Yeah, we got to answer those voicemails.
Yeah.
Let's get that voicemail.
We're kind of
going.
slacking.
Yeah, I'm accessing the number, which is 208
918
1776.
Hey guys, this is Alan calling from Las Vegas. I've heard.
Oops. Sorry. Let's try that again.
Hey guys, this is Alan calling from Las Vegas. I've heard Bonnie carried something called a whippet gun. What exactly is a whippet gun? Thanks.
Yeah. What exactly is a whippet gun?
Okay, so thank you, Alan, from Las Vegas.
From Las Vegas.
What is a whippet gun? So there's some evidence that maybe Clyde coined the term whippet.
Mm-hmm. And where did you pick up this evidence?
Just articles that I read.
Okay.
And they reference the fact that some
Uh-huh.
of the first times that you can find it in writing was Clyde saying that he used a whippet gun.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what a whip? I think we talk about it at the range. So rather than me sitting here, let's go. We went out to the range earlier this week to test this premise. Let's roll that.
Clyde Barrow of Bonnie and Clyde seems to have coined a term. Now maybe it was going around during that era anyway, but that is the whippet gun, which is a shortened shotgun that they would carry concealed under a coat or a garment. Obviously, this is what I would imagine maybe a modern iteration of a whippet gun is. So we have a Mossberg Shockwave here. Clyde's gun, and even Bonnie had her own whippet gun, which is a Remington Model 11, cut down, and then, of course, it would have had a normal stock that they would have cut off short, and they took a leather strap, a short leather strap, not like a normal sling, and they would just loop it around from end to end of the stock, and then they would wear it under a jacket. Now, there's a couple things here. One, this gun obviously has changed and evolved over the years. Also, so have coats. People don't really wear coats long enough to conceal a gun anymore. In fact, wearing a long coat now is kind of an indicator for law enforcement that someone might be trying to conceal something. So, you can see where this premise doesn't really work, but we're going to test whether or not you could even open a coat, access a gun, and fire it reliably.
All right. Caveat. Disclaimer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Don't try this, first of all.
Right.
This is not normal use of a firearm. It's not even recommended.
Right.
I can rule out for you before we even proceed that the premise of a whippet gun is not really valid for personal defense, not really valid for self-defense, doesn't have any police application. But the story was that they could carry these guns, and we know Bonnie died with her 20-gauge Remington 11 whippet gun near her body. We want to know just how effective was that, or was it something that they believed in but wouldn't really have worked? So they pulled these things out at a bank or a store and used it to threaten a clerk, but could they have actually been effective with it is what we wanted to determine. So let's find out if that's possible.
Let's do it.
So let me just tell you, it went a little smoother than I thought. You know, being able to carry it on your shoulder and fire it from the hip. This was a Mossberg Shockwave on a little rifle sling that we threw on it. And so obviously at a distance of, we did 7 yards, that, you know, worked. But my coat wasn't long enough.
No, we needed a real world simulation.
Because the whole idea was that they could walk in somewhere and have it concealed.
Yeah,
so
you never know what's on them.
Yeah, and you want to be inconspicuous too,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
you don't want to stand out at all.
Nowadays, you can't really wear a coat that long and be inconspicuous.
No, I mean, you have to wear other things that are less conspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see
what we got.
See, I think the whippet gun is made more by the garment than by the gun.
Oh my gosh.
He actually did it. He managed to conceal
For the radio
shockwave
listener,
under
Trevor is wearing a pink
garment.
bathrobe.
More the length
Full length
of the arrow.
bathrobe.
The
Now,
more
the
surprising
style
thing, gun
is still in question.
can't see it.
He's hiding that shockwave, which is sticking way
All
out
right,
from the
let's
bottom of
see
my
it.
coat. He can't see it. Let's watch what happens.
Yeah, I pulled it out in great Matrix fashion.
Yeah, that was pretty
That
good.
is a headshot.
All right, let's see what else we can do with the whippet when we get back. Remember, you can always get the podcast
Clyde's
later.
brother Buck died from a massive head wound that was open for several days.
Gun Shop Show. The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
Good morning, Force States. This is John Hart, and welcome to the Gun Shop Show. I am the owner of the exec company of Joplin, and I'm here to give you an update at the Andersons estate. Follow me. We're now starting on the staircase. This will be done by the next time you guys come over and visit us. As you can see, upper deck is almost complete. Put in the Brazilian cherry in the bands. It's really looking nice, guys. Today we're going to be focusing on the rails, putting in a cable rail. You guys got to come back and watch this. It's an awesome process. We're taking down the bridge and we're going to replace that. If you guys need a free estimate, call me 417-629-7886. Thanks again for joining us.
The Gun Shop Show, brought to you by Little Old Ladies. They're little, and they're old. They're little old ladies. Welcome back on the Gun Shop Show. We are coming to you from the sales floor of Liberty Tree Guns, and today we are talking about the guns of Bonnie and Clyde. And we're going to continue on that subject, talk about We've talked about some of the big guns that they had.
Right.
That's kind of what gave them the edge, but there were some not so big guns that they had.
Yeah, they had little baby guns too.
Tiny guns.
So we're going to talk about that. But first, I need to tell you about a special going on right now.
Okay. Specials?
Over the 4th of July weekend,
Yep.
I took
Classic
my
pronunciation.
new travel trailer,
Yep.
new used travel trailer, from Mid-America RV on a little trip. So I've got one photo because I didn't stop to take any more.
I respect that.
Yeah, I go ahead and put it on the screen.
There it is.
Yep, that is my son Nolan and my trusty Weber, there, and the travel trailer.
Did you take that down there with you?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Picked it up, stuck it in the door. Anyway, had a great trip, and I really like taking the travel trailer because kind of all your stuff in your space is there, and we got to have a little more. We'd take a few more things with us because we could fit them in there.
Right.
But let me tell you about this special. Come back here.
Tell
Come
them
back
about the
here.
special.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're special right now. Well,
I like that.
Hang on. There we go.
Who's special?
Mid-America RV.
Gotcha.
If you get any RV or sign a contract with them this month, for the month of July, you get your choice of a $50 Liberty Tree Guns gift card or a $50...
I like it the way you had it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm trying to show this on camera, so if you're listening to the audio only, I'm holding up gift cards, and it's backwards. $50 to either Cave Gang Pizza and Pub. I'm going to leak something about Cave Gang Pizza and Pub.
You're leaking it?
Yeah, I'm going to leak it.
Oh my
Gun
gosh.
Shop Show.
Exclusive. This is the first public announcement I have made.
Breaking news.
Did you know he owns a pizza place?
That's not the breaking news.
Oh.
The breaking news is I own a pizza place, and we have developed a new made-from-scratch pizza crust.
Is it too proprietary? Is that also why you've been sleepy? Because you've been working on
I've been
traveling
working on
and-
that.
Teleportation and pizza crust.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah. So anyway, when you get your $50 card, when you do business with our proud sponsor, by the way, they were one of our first sponsors.
That's right.
Mid-America RV. And they're legit.
They are.
Super
And,
legit.
I mean, not just legit, but they're a treat too.
Yeah, they're the San Francisco treat, in fact.
Yeah.
Anyway,
coast.
get a $50 gift card, and then once you do to either one of these places, go down to Cave Gang, tell them, hey, I heard about the crust. Hook me up with the new crust, because it's in beta right now. It's in
beta crust.
We are teaching the employees how to roll it out, physically roll it out, and roll it out to the customer. You can get that. So make sure that you do that.
Well, I've had it, and I liked it. It was really good.
Thank you. All right, let's talk about Bonnie and Clyde.
Let's do it. I want to tell us some stuff about Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay, what are you
What kind
on?
of stuff?
Well, the first little tidbit of information I'm going to give to you is
Hit us
about the
with it.
Ford V8 that
Okay.
Clyde was a huge fan of.
So they not only embraced massive firepower, but they embraced power in general with the use of their car.
right.
American engineering.
I mean, they were definitely, not just firepower. They know something good when they see it, when they used it.
Yeah, because it made a difference, and that's how they got away so effectively.
Right. And he was such a big fan of the Ford V8 that Clyde wrote a letter of appreciation to Henry Ford himself.
It's just, that's
Wow.
amazing to me.
I know, right? And
Hey,
they actually have visual proof of, here's the letter right here.
take it from me. I'm this horrible criminal, but your cars are awesome.
While I still have got breath in my lungs, I will tell you what a dandy car you make.
He knew what was going to happen to him.
He's like, I have drove Fords exclusively when I could get away with one.
Wow.
Right?
That's an incredible piece of history right there.
I know.
if you're Henry Ford, how do you take that?
Well, probably a little bit how Core Essentials took it when I sent them a clip of us plugging their belts.
Yeah, but you did it in pure gun shop show / Liberty Tree Gun / Eli Bruton fashion.
Yeah, they're like, thanks for plugging our belts. Also, please don't do it with crotch shots.
Exclusively crotch shots.
Right. They're like, it was 2 minutes and it was just shot of crotch.
Guess what? We sold a lot of belts.
But hey, you know what, Core? Your belt was in every one of those crotch shots.
That's right. And also, your belt's on my body right now.
On my body, too.
You want to see it?
Show it to him.
I'm not going to.
Oh.
I don't want to.
Is it not near a crotch right now? Is that what's wrong?
We should use a mobile cam, just get in there tight.
Get some close-up shots. Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I want to talk about their Colt 1903.
Oh, okay.
Because we just had a beautiful 1934, which was the year Bonnie and Clyde was killed, manufacturer Colt 1903. So if you can dig in the folder, Trevor, dig down there and find that picture of the one that we just sold. And I want to remind people that that's the kind of inventory that we deal in here at Liberty Tree Guns. This is the kind of stuff that we get in from time to time, usually have these kinds of history. This is the Colt Pocket 1903 32 caliber. I want you, if you can, the upper part, the back of the slide, I want you to show that.
Wasn't this Colt hammerless?
Yeah, it's called the Colt Pocket Hammerless. So you're looking at a very rounded, very smooth looking pistol in an era where a lot of guns weren't. But I think that it's so interesting because now you have a lot of options for concealed carry. But back then, there wasn't. This was kind of it. And so despite having 7 full-size 1911s, 3 B.A.Rs, whippet shotguns on their person when they died, they also had one of these. And so even with all that firepower, the concealability, the fact they knew this could be on them even when they couldn't conceal everything else, it was still of use to them.
Right.
But we have modern examples of, see, they did everything to make that Colt 1903 really smooth. The SIG SAS model with the 365, they've done the same thing. They've rounded off. There's no front sight post, no rear sights to snag. All of the edges of that have been, it's literally called the SAS for SIG anti-snag. It's kind of funny. We think of that as like a modern, the latest thing out, the twist in concealed carry. And that was exactly what John Browning had in mind for the Colt 1903.
Yep.
Very interesting piece of history there, and we had it in our hands. And
couple of different references. Both Bonnie and Clyde apparently knew that their run wouldn't last forever.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not going to get away with it forever.
I don't know what it is about that criminal gene, that criminal mentality, and I don't know. It is kind of a predisposition. I don't know if you would call it genetic, but I ran into it as an officer. There were just people that were straight up planning to live their life that way.
Yeah.
And some of them you got to know as people, and they were just crappy people. But they still, like, your human relationship with them, sometimes they would even tell you what their boundaries were. I had guys, and I always talk about how if I could have eliminated 20 people in the whole town, like just took them out of the equation, it would have eliminated 70% of the calls that we had, law enforcement calls.
Yeah.
At any given time. So there'd be like 20 problem people. Eventually they'd go to prison or move away for a little bit, and then somebody new would pop up. But but they would even tell you, like, you get the call, something, they're intoxicated or they're stealing something, whatever the case was, you'd show up and they would be like, I'm going to fight you today, just so you know. And like, all right, well, at least I know what I'm getting into.
At least they're courteous enough to let you know.
I mean, not everybody was like that, but we had elements that were like that. And I think that letter kind of draws me back to that. He was like, If I had to choose a getaway car. All right, Henry Ford, I want you to know.
There's some level of consciousness going on. It's not just a maniac.
Yeah, he wanted to let you know in the same way that Bonnie knew she was going to die.
Yeah.
And she, on more than one occasion, requested to be buried next to Clyde.
Right. Which Mama said no to that. That was her mom's decision.
Yeah.
She said, according to the documentaries I was watching, her mother said, he spent 2 years with her and nothing good came out of those 2 years, so he won't get to spend the rest of his life next to her. Also, speaking of that, the grave sites for Bonnie and Clyde both are highly trafficked grave sites.
Really?
Yeah, to the point to where people are leaving trinkets, flowers, which oddly enough, I've told you I went to the George Washington Carver Monument.
Yep.
There were flowers on graves out there, which was kind of surprising because, he's really the only notable person that I know of out there. But back to Bonnie and Clyde, they were anti-heroes in a way, but they mean something to somebody in some way. It doesn't have to be nefarious or evil.
We're wrapping up on the radio, but we're going to keep going on the live stream. Jump over to Facebook, type in Liberty Tree Guns, and join us there. People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So
just
get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best place. And then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay?
Yeah. All right. I'll do better this time.
And so let me finish the ad and then you can jingle, okay?
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
old glory actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Oh, I thought you were doing an alarm clock.
Yeah, we're
Welcome
back. Welcome back. This is where we really keep it chill.
Oh, I thought you always do the long whistle on the overflow.
What, the long whistle?
Yeah.
Actually, Eli's absolutely right. You do the long whistle.
I do the long whistle because I was going to wait. And
you know the long whistle?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
so while I was under the desk.
Let's all do the show from this.
From
this angle.
While I was under the desk.
While you were down there.
I found a core belt.
You found that?
Yeah.
I thought you took it off.
No,
I thought you took it off too.
No, I'm wearing a different one. Yeah, let me show you.
Show him how you do it. Nice. A different one. Oh, that's dude, that looks so good.
That's a good belt.
It looks so good. Such a good looking.
I just realized that we might be able to show with core gun belts.
That proprietary technology
without a crotch shot.
Yeah, but we should.
We can say crotch as much as we want to now.
Let's put in a picture of a crotch so that we're in good standing.
Yeah, good idea.
We'll just do like a random crotch in the corner.
Seriously though,
Yeah,
all
be
joking
serious.
aside, if you carry a gun and you don't use a dedicated gun belt, you should be.
Yeah,
you should.
Because you got several benefits to that. One is the structure that a gun belt creates that a regular belt doesn't. So
I don't know of any other gun belts, but that one right there, that one that you're holding, that gun belt is rigid.
It's rigid.
Very rigid.
And you know what else? It's not at the expense of fashion.
No.
No.
That's a good looking belt.
I mean,
that's church belt quality.
And
that looks like a regular belt, which is what I love about it.
Right. And even the buckle looks like a traditional buckle, but guess what?
It's not.
It's not.
It ain't. Let me show you.
Show them the gears like a train track or something. Like gears and stuff.
So what you have there is full adjustability. So once you put this thing on your body, below your belly, above your
navel,
crotch. We can say it now. We're in the overflow.
Oh yeah.
So let's just knock out all the things that we can say.
You talking about the 7 words?
Yeah, go ahead and knock them out. So we're in the overflow. We can do it.
Scott Hasty suggested that we use caws instead of beeps. So I'm
okay,
gonna go,
you hold them up. I'll call them.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Isn't
Yep,
it
those
easier
are-
if you just say caw, but louder, like more high pitched? Like caw, caw.
Oh man,
It's
that's
not
so
as
good.
accurate.
That was so much better. No offense, Eli, but Logan's got to be our caw man from now on.
That's not a realistic crow.
I will. What?
You ever heard a crow in
Do
real
you know
life?
crows?
Have you ever been?
I know like 3 or 4 crows.
I've
you ever
been
been
counting them
critiqued on-
since I was younger.
You've been cawing? Is that long?
What? Counting?
He's always been a caw man.
counting. I
Yeah.
thought you were saying cawing.
Yeah.
Now I'm back.
Hey.
All right, core belts.
What are we talking about?
Let's talk about some Bonnie and Clyde.
I got
Let's say if Bonnie and Clyde were going to conceal carry today, or conceal,
Nice
they probably
segue.
would use the core belt.
No, let's not.
Yeah, let's
do
not
that to
equate
core.
them to
Well, I'm not making them heroes. I'm just saying, like they
But
were.
they would
They were savvy.
drive a Ford.
They were savvy enough
Yeah.
that they
one
probably
of the
would
new
have
Broncos.
made good
Yeah.
decisions.
I don't know what that says about Ford.
Yeah.
I don't know if Core wants to be endorsed by Bonnie and Clyde.
No.
I don't
so.
think so.
Sorry, guys.
I
Sorry,
wanted
Core.
to
They were
ask
proficient with guns, though,
something
which is
from
a,
our.
a plus.
Yeah.
For them.
It allowed them.
Hey, you know what? I'm an upside kind of guy. All right, I'm a glasses half full kind of guy. So I'm gonna look at it this way. Bonnie and Clyde were basically training police force how to be more effective.
You know, that's one of the things that always, has to come out of a tragedy
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
adaptation by the good guys, and that did happen. In fact, there were B.A.Rs present at the ambush. We need to show the car. We have the car. We need to show it.
Let's show the car. All right.
So this is Bonnie and Clyde's car during, at the ambush, which happened in Louisiana. They got intel of where they would be, just waited alongside the road and took no chances.
Just open fire.
Just opened fire out of the gate.
I like that sign though. They couldn't have been a little more tasteful about it.
Yeah.
That's it. And apparently the scene that unfolded after they were killed was just a total madhouse. People started surrounding the car, and they had to stop them. That guy had reached in with his pocket knife and was going to cut Clyde's ear off.
Oh yeah, people were taking souvenirs and stuff.
Taking Bonnie's hair.
Yeah,
Someone tried to take Clyde's trigger finger.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, they also 10,000 people came to Clyde's funeral. 10,000.
And that's back
people.
then when word wasn't as viral as it is now.
Yeah.
You know,
Isn't that nuts?
You know the other thing that I want to point out, because we live in a world where it's so easy to say, like, back in the good old days, people didn't do, people were better. And you know what? People were kind of messed up back then too.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who rolls up on a car full of 2 dead, very bad people, and is like,
murderers?
I'd like to have a piece of their flesh.
You know what?
I like to keep it with me.
I want that trigger finger.
I need that finger in my life.
I mean, it's going to decay in my nightstand drawer. It's going to sit in my nightstand drawer and decay and get smelly, but I want it.
Well,
Okay.
people idolize them. That was their idol, their hero.
Which is
It's crazy to think, like, maybe the rear view mirror, all right? But a finger?
Yeah.
Like, that does not have any longevity unless you're going to put it in the pickle jar or something.
Right.
and no one's going to believe you if you're like, this is Clyde's finger.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
right
unless I
here.
testing the DNA on it.
Yeah. They're like, sure, buddy.
Right? It's like, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa, he cut this off of Clyde's hand.
You know what?
And
You
I got
remember-
a certificate to show it right here.
So
It's
we
his
were
DNA.
doing the show one day, and this old guy walked up to Logan and wouldn't leave him alone. He's like hovering over him, and we're like,
It was for several minutes.
yeah, we're like, all right, we're gonna do the show, and he's like, and another thing, and he kept leaning over the table. So that's the guy that would have been like, let me show you something.
Yeah.
And he'd have pulled out this shriveled up, like dark purple colored
Right.
umbilical cord looking deformity, and you'd have been like, you'd pull it out of old dirty hanky.
Of course.
And you'd have been like, doing your normal, cool. And he'd been, you know what that is?
And I've been like, I don't know.
It's like, you ever heard of the Barrow Gang?
Like,
That's Clyde's trigger finger. It would have been
I'd like, sure it is.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, seriously, I got a certificate right here with DNA test results.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Also, was this guy Gary? Because that was a pretty good Gary.
It was.
Yeah, my bad.
Human meat.
Dude, he's interested.
Wow.
Human
Oh,
meat.
man. I don't know if you heard that, Eli, but
was-
Logan and I just in
In
sync
unison.
said
Yeah.
human meat.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's his trademark.
That's Gary's thing.
And I have to ask our viewers something. We're trying to grow the show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on all the podcast platforms. I'll keep
All
the
of
list
them.
short.
Mm-hmm.
All the big ones.
All of them.
Google.
Yeah.
You get us on
iTunes.
Alexa through TuneIn.
Yeah.
All of them.
Spotify.
We're on News Talk. KZRG. We are on KODE 12.
That's right. Noons on Sundays.
On the Sundays.
And we're coming to KSGF in Springfield.
That's right. Springfield,
deal.
you better get ready.
But
They're not ready.
if you're watching somewhere out there in the internet sphere or somewhere that's not on one of those platforms, because we're big on Facebook. We're huge.
Huge. We're huge on Facebook.
That's pretty good. Show him again. Yeah. Do it again. Oh, yeah.
We're huge on Facebook.
Huge. I don't know. That's really good. Anyway, we're big on there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching that, we want to be, if you know of a station, TV or radio, that you're like, hey, this is kind of talk format, might be in your vein, send us a message. Especially if you have a connection to that place.
Yeah.
If you know someone that's in charge of programming, but even if you don't, if you're like, hey, this station would be a good place for you to be, send us a message. We want to put the Gun Shop Show. Tell us the station, and we will try and get in there like swimwear.
Well, not only that, if you have a Facebook group in mind that we could live stream the show to, let us know.
Let us get in there like swimwear.
Yeah.
Like swimwear.
I can't let this go without
I don't know what that
questioning.
means.
Yeah. What's the deal with this whole swimwear thing?
Yeah,
you starting a line of swimwear?
No.
Trusting you.
So,
this is a Logan thing, huh?
No. I meant like I said it because I trust
Okay, here's a real story, guys, okay?
Okay, tell us the real
guy that I met at the gym playing basketball
Oh, yeah.
used the phrase in there like swimwear,
Mhm.
and I thought he like did it off the cuff, and he's like, no, man, that's a saying.
No.
And I said, nah. And we sat down, and he's like, no, it is. And he told me why.
He told you why it was a saying?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it's a stretch. Okay.
Did it feel like he made it up?
I don't know, but I like the saying.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel quite right,
Yeah. Oh, I know about that. You know about.
Anyway,
we'll teach you.
I said, I'm going to say that.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say it on the radio. And I think he probably was like, I don't know what that means.
Right. Yeah. Like
What's
he
the
was-
radio?
Anyway. That's his way.
He said-
like you're like, what's the deal with
He
the
said, you
swimwear?
got to quote me. So, in there like swimwear, my new buddy, Jonte Perkins.
Oh, you guys are buddies now?
Yep.
This is a weird.
I
way
told
to
you
find out.
I told you I'd say it on the radio, and there you go. I did.
In there like swimwear.
Yep.
I don't feel like it's going to take off like some of my isms.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Have
find
you ever
out.
told anybody any of my isms and then gave me credit?
You mean like party foul?
That's not one of his isms.
I don't think this is a place to bring that up.
It's not one of his isms,
This
but I'm
is
still
the
bitter about
overflow,
it.
not
He's
the-
bitter.
Yeah.
I'm bitter
Thank you.
about it.
Thank you. I've
are
been
you bitter
alone in
too?
that.
You've
You
been bitter?
know I am.
Dude, we talk about this behind your back all the time.
First of all, right, in front of me and behind my back.
Yeah.
But first of all, if you're bitter about it, I didn't know you were bitter about it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, are you bitter because I came up with it and you can't prove that I didn't?
I just think it's so absurd that you say. At first, I thought you were joking.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, pretty funny. you pretend that you came up
Pretend,
with
yeah. Except
party
for
foul.
factually.
Because you obviously heard it and repeated it, and you don't remember where you first heard
I
it.
coined it. And then someone else took it up, and now I'm trying to defend my honor.
He actually thinks that he
actually thinks. Look, somebody first spoke the words. Okay, I know it's hard to believe it, but this guy. Right
This
here.
is like my laundry's done idea that Trevor stole.
No.
What?
Okay, hang on. We've gone this far. We need to explain what we're talking about.
I think in the mess of all of this, in this haystack of conversation we have, but I'll just tell people.
Okay, party foul.
Okay.
All right, so
here's the
years
context.
ago, and when I say years ago, we're talking 20 plus years ago, I was being really good with my friends, and
Just
something
say
happened.
what is the truth.
Well, it is the truth. We were having fun.
Yeah.
I was with my friends.
Right.
And something happened, and I
What
said,
happened?
"That's someone spilt some fluids."
It sounds
beverage.
It's a beverage.
It's not
Got
criminal.
spilt.
Just say what it was.
Okay, I was at a party. Well, I was underage. I don't want to get in trouble now.
Ooh,
Okay.
yikes.
All right, so I was at a party,
Statute of
and
limitations
somebody
is that.
tripped and spilt their drink. Okay,
Beer or
and
something.
I said, "You can't do that. That's a party foul." And then someone else picked it up. I heard them saying it. I heard them saying it a lot. Got spread around. Like it's crazy to think, but I started party foul, and it spread like COVID-19.
Do you know what I think actually happened? I think you were drinking.
No,
Probably drunk.
stone cold sober.
Probably almost blackout drunk.
no.
Someone said party foul. You assumed it was you.
Okay. The infuriating thing about this
Is we can't disprove him.
yes. So at first I thought he was joking. Then I have to find out he's dead serious.
Oh,
That
yeah.
he thinks
he had to
he's
find.
coined-
He had to find out.
He thinks
I
he's
spent
coined.
hours trying to research
So,
this.
so I was like, all right, easy enough. I'm like, Trevor, what year was this? And you told me like,
Yeah,
what?
1998, circa 98.
So I'm like, I'll just go back and find, a clip from a movie in 1979 where
Yeah.
they said party foul. I'll paste it. Boom, done. End of story. You didn't
Yep.
invent this.
And here we are 2 years later.
I can't find it. I can't. I know it's out there.
Well, you know what? What better source than from the horse's mouth here?
No,
all right?
no, I'm thinking the
telling you,
opposite way.
firsthand. You're getting first-hand.
It's one thing
accounts.
for you to sit there and tell me in person.
Right.
But now we have all these resources.
Yeah.
Hundreds of listeners.
Get the whole crew out. Somebody out there is going to be like, I was 16 in 1892 and I heard it. No.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I coined it. It birthed from my brain into the world. Y'all welcome.
No.
It happened here
No.
first.
No.
I'm sorry that you don't believe me. I also came up with colder and thirsty, but no one knows
Came up
what
with
that is
what?
yet. It's a thing. It's
I'm
growing.
not doing
it's
that.
growing in
Do you say
popularity.
colder than thirsty?
I'm not
Yes,
doing
colder
that
than
on that
thirsty.
show.
What does that
Not-
mean?
That's enough.
He
for
doesn't
today.
want to talk about it.
What is
That's
colder
enough.
than
It's a
thirsty?
juxtaposition of
No.
things.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
he doesn't want to talk about colder than thirsty.
Another
Well,
day.
guess what? Hotter than thirsty. So, boom, just coined
Let's
it.
talk about our Facebook group.
Let's talk about our Facebook group.
God,
we have a
okay.
Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite
It,
a bit of members.
Yeah. Almost 3,500.
3,500.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's grown exponentially since the last time that I counted it.
Yeah. 3.44.
It was 3.5K.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3.5K.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. K's 1,000.
Yeah.
Did
Why
you
is-
coin that too?
Why is K
No,
1,000?
no. Eli,
For
I
kilo-
only
kilo?
take credit for the things that I actually do. I know that's hard to believe, but I'm not going to try and tell you that I invented coffee because that would be asinine, right? But party foul from these lips first.
No.
These lips. And now that's on the internet. There you go. There's your proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now there's going to
That's
be
not
an
proof.
Urban Dictionary article referencing this video and my first-hand account of how I invented the term party foul.
Well, I invented something for Urban Dictionary the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, I feel like this is like you're just now coming up with this.
No, my kids were discussing with a friend had come over and introduced them to the premise of the purple nurple.
Oh yeah.
The classic
I
purple.
remember the purple. I remember purple.
Everybody
Nurple.
remembers that.
And
Everybody.
the kids were like, I'm going to give you a purple nurple so bad. And they didn't think I was listening. And they're like, Dad, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to give you a turtle nurple. And they said, what is that? I'm like, that's where I pick up a turtle. I get it clamped on there, and then I start spinning the turtle.
Right.
Oh my God.
It's dark.
That's a turtle nurple.
I hope PETA's not watching this video.
PETA?
Yeah.
Or
gonna
Child
be like,
Protection
Don't
Services.
do that with turtles.
They're not worried about the kid.
Right.
Those turtles didn't deserve that.
You sound a little bit like a turtle when you say that.
Hey, what's happening right now? What are
We're talking about Bonnie and Clyde, guys. Come on.
I don't know. The voicemail box still has voicemails in it. But I don't think we have time
I
for
hope
them.
people are still watching.
Then there's no one still watching.
It can't be.
There's no one watching this.
Right now.
There's more guns that we get to talk about, but I was up all night working on the teleport thing.
So what are we going to do next week?
You know what would be really cool that I thought of would be super cool?
Yeah,
Be ultra cool. Is to create some sort of vote system where people could like put in a show topic out
That's
and
a
the
good idea.
community could vote on it. Rather than like putting a poll out where we give two choices and they have to
And
pick
we
one or
should
the other.
only give access to the Gun Shop Show group.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot of.
I was thinking Reddit's the only one that I can think of that has that system. There's one called Vote, VOAT, too. But if anybody else knows of any other sort of system where you could submit ideas and then vote on them, that would be super handy.
I mean, Facebook has a way where you have to have your ideas, but you can have people vote on them.
Really? But they're not submitting them.
No,
right?
you would have to have
Yeah.
ideas already.
Well, that's why Reddit came to mind, because we could create a subreddit just for the Gun Shop Show group. People could go in, submit their ideas, and then the community could vote up or down on them. But
Eli, are you trying to trigger the voicemail?
I don't know if that's what we want to do, is use that platform.
I don't know either.
Because, you want to play some voicemail, man? Is that your-
Nah,
I was
I
gonna
don't.
say,
But
is it-
hey,
you hand model now?
if you left me a voicemail, just know that it's in here. It's stored in this technology.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bust it out later.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep making this show for you every week.
I don't know after this.
He's like, yeah, I just decided.
I was
he's
sitting
like,
here the whole time debating whether or not we were going to, but we are.
Sweet.
We're going to
excited.
make it better and better every week.
Better than whatever we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Much better. The overflow, if you just tuned in and you're like, is this what this is?
No.
Rewind it.
Yeah, like an hour or so.
Yeah, go way back.
Mhm.
Forget all this. This is just if you're really cool.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is the only time that that you're going to get this kind of stuff. Anyway, we're going to make this show every week for you. We're going to make it better and better. And you can follow along and even be involved in the steering the show by joining the Facebook group and supporting the show that way.
Yep. It's Facebook, search The Gun Shop Show.
That's right.
All one word. Or
Yep.
go to Liberty Tree Guns.
Thanks.
Among other things.
This has been a good time. Thanks for joining us. If you just tuned in, you're going to want to back all the way up to the beginning to check out the Guns of Bonnie and Clyde on the Gun Shop Show.
The huge Gun Shop Show.
The huge Gun Shop Show.
This would be a good time for credits.
That track is kicking it.
Yep.
Oh, bye,